Yo guys, sorry, you already know that today we are doing another Pokemon tier list. Today we are getting into Generation 6. I have been doing these off and on. I started from Generation 9 and I'm working my way backwards, and today we are talking about the Pokemon from X and Y. And I'm really looking forward to this because I've always considered myself to be a pretty big fan of X and Y. It is the time that I was around in the Pokemon YouTube sphere more than any other generation. And I think that comes with probably having plenty of memories with some of these Pokemon. There's a lot less than I feel like I remember. Like, the fact that everything can fit on, like, the screen is something, and it just doesn't seem like there's that many Pokemon. Megas aren't on this list. I may do a separate tier list for all the Mega Evolutions, if that's something that people are interested in. But we're just going to be talking about the new Kalos Pokemon that were introduced in X and Y. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. I think the further back we go, the more that my opinions are going to be clouded by nostalgia and other very subjective factors, and I'm interested to see how that's going to go. Looking over this, I think the overall cast of new Pokemon is probably not as strong as I thought it was in my mind, but I think there's going to be some pretty high tier stuff. I don't think there's that many here that I hate, though, and I think that's the biggest thing. I think Generation 6 probably benefits from there not being really too much trash. But let's go ahead and just get into it. I'm just going to talk about my opinions on these Pokemon and go from there. I have S through D because that is what I have been doing for the other ones, so we're just going to keep it the same for consistency's sake. And I don't think I have too much else. This is just my opinions, mostly based on design. It could be based on any sort of memories that I have, but this isn't like competitive or anything like that. This is just kind of like how I like the Pokemon. Which, oh gosh, I actually completely forgot. All right, we're just gonna start with Chespin. Chespin is fine. I'm gonna have to really get on my own case about like what deserves to be B versus what deserves to be C. I don't think Chespin does enough for me to go to B. Oh, they all have the white backgrounds. That's a little annoying, but you know what? I didn't make this tier list, so if I wanted it done better, I could have done better. This is the best one I found, and I think this is fine. So, that works for me. Just sort of go over. S is like top. This is like some of my all-time favorite Pokemon. A is they're really good. I really like them a lot. B is I like them. C is that they kind of don't do anything for me, but I don't mind them. They're fine. D is where I just like don't like. And then I just don't really go to F, even though I probably could for this next Pokemon. Quilladin is actually my least favorite Pokemon of all time. It still remains that way. A long time ago, I made a video on my channel for that was like my 10 least favorite Pokemon of all time. Quilladin was number 1, and it still stays that way. I hate this thing. It doesn't look like a Pokemon. It looks like a child in like a really poor like suit of some sort. It looks awful. It just doesn't look like a Pokemon to me, and I hate it so much. It is so bad. These are also ranked just in my general opinions. They're not ranked relative to each other. So if I think a Pokemon is an S tier Pokemon, like they're going in S, even if the best Pokemon from this generation wasn't an S tier Pokemon, I wouldn't put them there. That's not going to be the case, but just so we're clear, they're going in the tiers that I think that they are relative to all Pokemon that have ever been made, not just this generation. Speaking of which, the only reason that the Grass Starter line is not terrible is Chestnut. I think Chestnut goes in B. We're just gonna have a kind of line there. You know, starts off fine, goes worse, and then becomes good. I like Chestnut. You know, I think it's definitely the weakest starter for me. I'm not the biggest fan of the design, but I do like Chestnut enough, and the grass fighting typing, all that sort of stuff. It's very cool. But let's go ahead and get to some better starters. Fennekin, when I first laid eyes on Fennekin, I was just like, this is absolutely one of my favorites. It's definitely settled down over time. I think I'm still actually going to put it in A tier. Yeah, I actually do really like Fennekin. It's very simple. It's just a fox. It's kind of hard to do a fire fox type Pokemon poorly. So I definitely don't have any problems with that at all. What I kind of have a problem with is Braixen. I really don't like Braixen either. It's better than Quilladin, but not by much. And the only reason that I don't really like it, I just don't really like the tail and like the broomstick sort of sticking out of it. I mean, it really does just look like there's a giant stick like coming out of its butt. I just don't. I don't like the way that looks. Everything else about it is fine, but that is just such like enough for me that it's just like, I don't know. I don't like it. Also, I mean, the legs, I don't know. There's just enough of it that I'm just like, I don't like it. It's not nearly as bad as Quilladin. but not as good. But what is good is I really actually like Delphox. Maybe even more than Fennekin. It took a while. It took a while. I know people were disappointed that yet another four-legged fire starter ended up standing, even though this one's not fighting. You know, it is a more magical mage type thing. I just think it's really cool. I think I also have some memories of trying to use this. It was one of those that I feel like people were hating on it, and so I wanted to like it, and so I like was using it in Pokemon Showdown and stuff like that. I don't know. I just feel like I made some memories that way with it. And Fire Psychic is a cool typing. And I've always just really been a big fan of Delphox. Spoiler alert, it's not my favorite starter because Greninja exists, but I do like Delphox. But yeah, let's go ahead and just do this. We'll put Froakie. I probably like Fennekin slightly more than Froakie. Frogadier is probably like same but slightly better. The only good middle evolution starter of this generation. And then this is Greninja and Ash's Greninja. I think this is the normal Greninja, which is an S tier. Ash's Greninja I have no attachment to, and I'm not going to rate it as a separate Pokemon, so it'll just stay there. Can I, like, move it to the, like, yeah, okay, perfect. I was like, I don't need to talk about Ash's Greninja because I don't care. I think that's what that is. I don't know if that has a different name or whatever, but yeah, Greninja S tier, fantastic Pokemon. Ninja Frog, you literally can't go wrong with it. Greninja is very, very cool. Alright, let's go on to more. We're going to say that Bunnelby, I think we're gonna say B for Bunnelby, better than Chestnut. And then Diggersby, very cool. It is a little off-putting, the fact that he has arms, which basically means that he has no ears. And the design is a little weird the longer you look at it, but I do think Diggersby is pretty cool. And I do like it. I'm going to put it B at the same spot here. I think I feel similarly about them both. I think Bunnelby is cuter. I think Diggersby is cooler. And they sort of offset each other in that way. But yeah, I don't know. Looking at Bunnelby, I guess like B's would be the ears. So like maybe Diggersby's just the ears are on, like more on the inside, and the ears or fists are part of the same thing. So it's not as bad, but it is kind of weird. It's just like a round body with nothing attached to it except for legs at the bottom. But I know I like Diggersby. There's a lot of Pokemon I just kind of like. Just like Fletchling. Fletchling is another E tier. I think I might actually like it more. I don't know. I like Fletchling. Fletchinder, I think I like it. It's just better. It just looks like a better Fletchling. Is it good enough to go into A tier? Probably not. I think I'm gonna put it just above Fletchling there. And then Talonflame. Talonflame is very cool. I think Talonflame's going in A, and I'm just kind of trying to figure out where. I think it's going above here. I'm really looking at it. I was like, do I like Talonflame more than I like Delphox? Probably, actually. Yeah, Talonflame is very cool. Remember when Talonflame used to be like broken? Like there was a time where like Talonflame was like one of the strongest Pokemon like in the game, at least in competitive. I think something to do with its abilities, whatnot. I think it's not nearly as strong. I don't keep up with competitive as much nowadays, but I don't think it's as strong as it used to be. But man, Talonflame, that used to be like one of the scariest Pokemon to go against. But it's still very cool. It's literally just like a flying red bird. It's very cool. Alright, now we get to the bugs here. I think Scatterbug is a C here. It doesn't really do anything for me. It's not that cute. It's just kind of like whatever. Pupa has a terrible name and not a great design either. I'm gonna put that in D tier. I don't really like Spupa very much. I think it looks kind of ugly. Vivillon is very good. I think I'm gonna put Vivillon at the bottom of B tier. I like all the different patterns. Very, cool little gimmick. It's not a very strong Pokemon. It's just a bug flying. This is sort of just a rehash of sort of like a Butterfree, like Caterpie sort of thing, and it's just a weaker version of that. So it's, hard to recapture the same thing. But Vivillon is neat. And I like some of the stuff that you can do with it, like how it shows up in Pokemon Snap, and you have the different, like, patterns and stuff that you can try and get. I don't know. That sort of mechanic makes it stand out. Otherwise, I think that would also maybe be a C tier, but it also just has a sort of elegance to it as well, which is nice. Let's see, Litleo. Litleo, I think we're gonna put the B tier between Diggersby and Fletchling. I do like Litleo. Pyroar. I mean, Pyroar absolutely is just sort of nostalgic in the sense that when I was in Draft League format, I was the Pittsburgh Pyroar, which was so much fun. I think I actually still have a hoodie or a shirt that has like the Pittsburgh Pyroar logo from whoever made that. And that was from way back in the day. So, I mean, that's really neat. Pyroar itself is actually kind of underwhelming. The female Pyroar with, like, the one streak of hair is, like, fine, but not great. But I do have some memories attached with this Pyroar. I will put it in probably A tier. Just for that alone. I think in-game it's not really worth using all that much. There's a lot of fire types just early in the game. I say a lot. There's like 3, but I mean, Gen 4 wishes they had 3 fire types that you could use. Yeah, I think I feel good about the bottom of A tier. Alright, next one. I think the first fairy Pokemon that you can find in the game, with the fairy type being the new typing of Generation 6. You have Flabebe, great name. Pokemon is fine. I think. I think it still deserves. We'll go top of C tier. I don't have strong enough feelings about Flabebe. Put it higher. I do like it, but like I also like Chespin. I was like, this is where it's like I have to make that different. You know, I have to differentiate between B and C tier. Otherwise, everything's going to end up in at least B tier. I don't have strong enough feelings for Flabebe. I think Floette is like it's kind of the same, but kind of worse. I guess instead of being on top of the flower, it's now big enough to hold the flower. Either way, Florges is better than both of them. I think Florges probably goes in B tier, or maybe around here. I think I like it better than Chestnut, better than Bunnelby. No, I mean, really good Pokemon. Or at least it was once upon a time. Again, I don't speak for current competitive meta. I don't know, but yeah, I like Florges, and it has like the different colors as well, which is neat. But yeah, I think B tier is good. Good there. All right, then we have Skidoo and Gogoat. Man, this generation actually does have a lot of good Pokemon. Kind of crazy. You know, I think I'm gonna put. I think this is going in A tier. I think this is going. Do I keep putting it even higher up? Probably not. I think we'll leave Skiddo here and we'll put Gogoat like up here. I really like Gogoat. I haven't gotten a chance to use it that much, but use it enough to know that I like it. It's just a grass goat. I mean, you know, very simple concept. I think some of the best Pokemon are just some of the more simple ones. And I think sometimes when you overcomplicate Pokemon designs, that's when you know, are doing too much. It's very simple, but it's very cool. It has a really nice presence to it. I don't know, I like it. Pancham. Pancham? You know, I've never really had super strong feelings about Pancham. I don't know. You know what? I'm actually going to put this top of C tier. I think it's a new top of C tier. There's nothing wrong with it, but Pangoro is just, like, better. Pangoro goes, like, full Kung Fu Panda. Pancham is just, like, smaller Panda. Which is, like, fine. I guess I've just never really held a super big attachment to it. I'm trying to think of why that is. Because I think I've only used it maybe, like, once in my plenty of playthroughs. It's not like there's a ton of other fighting Pokemon to use. Huh, I don't know. Pangoro is definitely better, though. Pangoro. Where is Pangoro ending up? I think Pangoro minimum has to be... yeah, I think it goes top. Top of B tier. It's on that line of, like... Ooh, should it be A tier? Should it be B tier? I think it's B. I think it's B tier. Yeah, for some reason I've never held, like, super close attachment to it, but Pangoro is, like, undoubtedly, like, really cool. So I'll put it there. Furfrou, I mean, I like the different styles gimmick is cool. Furfrou is also can be very strong with its ability, like good defenses if you don't have the right things to take it on. I feel like I remember there being like a trainer in X and Y that had a Furfrou that was like kind of annoying to deal with and take out. I like, but don't love Furfrou. I think it's just going to go in C tier. You know, it's not offensive. Pretty neat. Not really that much reason to use it. So it's there. Esper, I think Esper at least goes into B tier just because like the eyes being open memes are pretty great. So it'll go right next to Bunnelby. I think without that, not as great, but I do like Esper. Meowstic, I also like as well. I think Meowstic is another B tier. I think I'm gonna put that right under Pangoro. I like Meowstic. I think Psychic Pokemon by default generally have some of the stronger designs in Rock Pokemon. I'm not sure if I back that up by by my tiering or not. It's just a statement that I feel is true at this current moment of saying that. But I don't know. I think B tier feels right though. Then we get to move on to Honedge. Honedge, I mean, this entire line. Let's see where placements go. It's very easy to just say that I really like all of them. Let's go Honedge here. Go Doublade, like a little bit higher, but nothing crazy. And then we'll put Aegislash as the new best Pokemon. I don't know if it's been clear. Like, obviously, I'm ranking them within the tiers as well. So this is, you know, favorite to least favorite. Aegislash, definitely favorite Pokemon out of the ones that we've gone through so far. The Sword and Shield, before Pokemon Sword and Shield was a thing. And it's just, like, solid the whole way through. Nice and Ghost Shield. Ghost. I remember Aegislash, another one, being, like, completely broken at one point in time. You know, I don't speak for anything current. But Aegislash, very good. Spritzee and Aromatisse, I don't think I've ever had, like, huge attachments to. So I think they are going to end up in the C tier, kind of right next to each other. Like, they're fine. I don't think they're offensive. I don't have anything against them, but I'm not, like, super excited about them either. Swirlix and Slurpuff are kind of similar. I'm gonna put Swirlix here, but I think Slurpuff is kind of funny enough. Yeah. What was the strat that you could use with Slurpuff? Is that the Unburden? And it didn't have, like, Belly Drum, stuff like that. You can do kind of stupid stuff with Slurpuff for the memes. Yeah, there's just sort of, like, fond, like, meme memories that I have of Slurpuff that is going to put it in B tier at least. It's just one of those that, like, the joke's kind of funny to me, and that's the only thing that carries it, because I think design-wise it's not very exciting or special, and otherwise would also probably be in C tier, maybe even D tier, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Then we have Inkay and Malamar. I think Inkay is another one that I don't have super strong feelings about. Don't dislike it. So we'll put Inkay in the C tier. I think Malamar is definitely cooler. Malamar definitely goes into the B tier. You're right there? Yeah. I haven't gotten the chance to use Malamar that much. The evolution method is stupid. I think at the time of its release, I think Inkay's evolution to Malamar was the stupidest thing that they've ever done. It might still hold a candle as, like, the actual dumbest thing. You have to, like, turn your 3DS upside down or whatever. But Malamar as a design and as a Pokemon is pretty cool. I like it. Don't have much more to say other than that. Binacle is fine. I think that also goes in the C tier. It's one of those where, like, that is fine. Barbaracle is definitely better. Actually, looking at Barbaracle and Chestnut side by side, I was like, they're kind of standing in the same pose. Very similar. I think I like Barbaracle slightly more, but they're kind of, like, dissimilar to me. They're good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have super strong feelings about Barbaracle, but I do like Barbaracle. Binacle is just, like, whatever. Then we have Skrelp and Dragalge. Skrelp, pretty cool. I do like the serious face, you know, the poison typing, pretty neat. I think this is one that is going to end up in B tier somewhere. I might actually just keep it bottom of B tier. That being said, I love Dragalge. Dragalge is an S tier Pokemon. I love this, like, sea dragon, this poison dragon. It's so cool. I remember, you know, using it plenty in various competitive formats. I don't know if it was, like, the best thing, but it was just fun to try and make it work. It's one of those that's just simple. It's just a simple poison sea dragon. And I'm still just sort of, like, looking. I was just like, do I like it more than Greninja? Do I like it more than Aegislash? I mean, there's probably an argument to be made that I do. Honestly, I definitely like it more than Greninja, for sure. I think putting it above Aegislash is probably where I draw the line. I don't think I can do that. I think Aegislash is still cooler, but I do really like Dragalge. Clawitzer. Clawitzer has a nice little, like, serious face as well. That's pretty cool. I think that can go next to Skrelp, like, right below it, probably. Clawitzer, Big Claw, very cool. I think it's also staying in the B tier, but just higher up. Maybe, like, somewhere up this way. It looks so tiny compared to the other ones. Yeah, I like Clawitzer. It's just kind of strong. That's it. You know, nothing fancy. Again, simple design. You know, easy. But yeah, I like Clawitzer. I don't have much more to say than that. Heal Up Tile is a name that I don't super like. The P, the Healy Up, the P in the middle, the Healy Up Tile. Never been the biggest fan. Face, ears, like fine. I'm not the biggest fan. I would probably put it like right around here. I don't really like it all that much. Heliolisk is better. But I've also never had a super huge attachment to Heliolisk. I'm debating on if it should be bottom of B tier or if I actually want to put it in C tier. That seems like disrespectful though. This feels disrespectful. But I don't have a strong attachment to Heliolisk. Yeah, when I'm trying to think. I was like, well, not really any better electric type Pokemon. Yeah, this generation actually kind of dropped the ball for electric type Pokemon, just in general. Literally the only other one I see is Dedenne. I'm trying to think of some of the other Pokemon you can get, because obviously you're not restricted to just this. So there must have been others that I used. But yeah, I'll put Heliolisk at the very bottom of B tier. Not sure how great I feel about that. Then we get to Tyrantrum. Your boy loves dinosaurs, so the fossils here are just, you know, absolutely fantastic. I think Tyrant is like right next to Honedge for just one of the best like base forms or whatever. And Tyrantrum is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. That is new number 1 for Generation 6. I love Tyrantrum. It is a big T-Rex. It is fantastic. Like, what more can you want? They killed this design. Like I said, this is one of my absolute favorite Pokemon of all time. It is so good. This looks so cool. And I think as a result, Amora and Auroras generally tend to feel like they get a little forgotten or just like maybe disrespected just because of how cool Tyrantrum is. But I definitely don't think that they deserve it. I don't really have a strong attachment to Amora, but Auroras, I mean, I really like, you know, sort of big like Brontosaurus, Apatosaurus, whatever the proper term for what it's based off of is. The big like flowing things coming off of it, very good. Like, this is also a fantastic Pokemon, and I think we're gonna go top of A for Auroras. Yeah, it is just very, very good. I love it a lot. And I feel, like I said, like, Tyrantrum kind of overshadows it, but, like, I don't want to take away from just how much I also really, really like Auroras as well. Okay, Sylveon is next. Sylveon is one that I've always felt was maybe one of the weaker evolutions, but I've stood by and said that every evolution I feel similarly about. Like, if I were to rank all the evolutions, like, they would all basically end up in the same tier. And I always have a hard time deciding which ones, like, are I know what my absolute favorite is. It's always hard to figure out which one's my least favorite. I think, so I'm looking, I was like, I like Sylveon more than Pangoro, right? So definitely at least top of B tier. I'm just thinking, do I like it more than some Pokemon in A tier? I don't know if I'm, No, I'm trying to think of how I'm gonna end up ranking other evolutions. And this might be a spoiler for whenever I do past generations, but I think they're all probably gonna end up in A tier. Honestly. I probably like Sylveon more than Pyroar. Probably like more than Skiddo. Maybe right there. I think that's a solid spot for Sylveon. Like, in terms of evolutions, it's like not my favorite, but just in terms of Pokemon in general, like, this is definitely like fairy type mascot. You got the pink and white, the big blue eyes, the ribbons. You know, there's really not much more that they could do this design to make it better than it already is. It's really, really good. Hawlucha is another Pokemon that I really like. I feel like it's kind of one I forget about, but when I look at the Pokemon around it, I think this is another one that deserves to go into A tier, probably like right below Sylveon. I think, yeah, it kind of sucks. I think I used Hawlucha the first time I ever played Pokemon X, which is fun. It was also one of the only Pokemon that I didn't know existed, because I think that was one of those Pokemon games that like leaks and official announcements or whatever gave away like the existence of like almost every Pokemon in the game. It was ridiculous. And Hawlucha was like actually new when I ran into it. I remember being a little disappointed that it didn't evolve, but still a very, very good Pokemon. I think that's a solid spot for it. Dedenne is going to end up in this sort of like area here. I don't really care for Dedenne. It is definitely one of the weaker Pikachu clones, and I don't think it really brings that much to the table, honestly. I don't think it's like offensive. I don't hate its existence, but it doesn't really do much for me. Carbink is one that I do think is kind of dumb. I don't think I have enough active dislike to put it into D, but it will go to the bottom of C tier because I just feel absolutely nothing towards Carbink. If this Pokemon disappeared, I don't think anybody would notice. It literally is just there. It's just the definition of like existing. So I think D is for active dislike, and I don't have active dislike towards Carbink. So yeah, bottom of C tier is where that's gonna end up. All right, Goomy, Slugoo, and Goodra. All right, what do we do with these? Goomy's fine. I think Goomy kind of goes in this little tier. This is like a little section of just like stage 1 Pokemon that are like fine. Slugoo? I don't think I feel any stronger about Slugoo than I do Goomy. You know, I'm actually kind of thinking, like, I think this grouping might actually belong at the top of C tier. But I think, like, they're fine. I do think Goodra's a lot better. It also helps that Goodra has, like, way better stats that help it be more viable to use. I think Goodra... You know, I really like Goodra, but... Like, the way I'm saying this, it's just like, I think this is a B tier. I'm just like, actually, the more I think about it, it's like, is Goodra an A tier Pokemon? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. I was like, I do really like it. I like its stats and its move variety. I remember it being a pain to try and take out sometimes, especially with like special attacks. It is a good special wall, or was. It was, yeah, Goodra's really cool. I had some experience using it, but I don't think I can put it any higher than the top of B tier. What I can put higher than top of B tier, and I feel like people are going to be very upset about this, Klefki is the best Pokemon. Obey him. Klefki, I legitimately actually love. There's something so funny about this just random floating keychain Pokemon, and it's not even a ghost type. It's just a keychain Pokemon. I love the gold shiny. Klefki is a joke that's just never not been funny to me, but I also just kind of legitimately like it. It's not even very good. It does have some prankster shenanigans you can do, or could do. You know, again, I don't know competitive stuff anymore, but that was always fun to use. I'm just sort of debating. I was like, does Klefki go higher, or is it just like baseline S tier? I think Klefki might be baseline S tier. I don't think I can put it above anything else, but I actually legitimately really, really love Klefki, and it's kind of hard to explain. I think it's funny. I legitimately do like the design. I don't know. I like it. I'm not gonna be able to defend it because there's gonna be other like inanimate object like things that I'm gonna be like, I don't really like this that much. But then Klefki is like, oh, I absolutely love this Pokemon. And who said that, you know, subjective rankings had to have logic to them? That's just how I feel. Phantump. Phantump is actually incredible. Phantump might be the best Stage 1 Pokemon. Honestly, I think it might go like right under Talonflame. I don't know that I've ever felt that I've had like this strong of a love towards Phantump. But just sort of like seeing it now, I'm just like, yo, looks so cool. You know what also looks really cool? Trevenant. Trevenant is fantastic. I mean, it is a very spooky tree. I think it's gonna go under Aurorus. I don't think it's quite good enough to go in S tier. It's close. I think Aurorus has more of an argument in my mind to make it S tier, because at least that's a dinosaur. This is a spooky tree, which is great, but not quite there. Not quite there. I can't. You know, the S tier has to have some level of exclusivity to it. I feel good about that. But this isn't the only grass ghost duo there was, because we have Pumpkaboo and Gourgeist. I like the sort of gimmick of them having different size, like pumpkins, all that. I think the face of Pumpkaboo is a little bit derpy in like a way that I'm not super into. I would actually probably put that in the C tier. I do think Gourgeist is a lot better. By a lot better, I mean a little bit better. I don't think it has enough to justify going above this spot. I think I like Meowstic more, but I do like Gourgeist, and I appreciate that it exists. I also remember having a fun time using it. You know, pretty interesting to use for defensive purposes in certain formats and whatnot. So yeah, I remember I like Gourgeist. It's a good Pokemon. Orgmite, Avalugg, I think these are the only two other ones that first time playing through the game I didn't know that these Pokemon existed. They weren't like leaked ahead of time. I like them, they're fine. I think Bergmite goes like there. Avalugg, very cool. I mean, it's so flat. It's so flat. I think this is another one that probably just goes into B tier somewhere. Honestly, I might just kind of put it in the same spot. Like, it's interesting the parallels between Pumpkaboo, Gourgeist, Bergmite, Avalugg, but honestly, kind of feels right. Kind of feels right. I don't know, I like it. I think I always want to like ice types more than I actually do. And there's probably more than they could have done with this, but I don't know, I like Avalugg. It's neat. Okay, Noibat, Noivern. Noibat is fine. I have nothing against Noibat. I don't super have strong feelings towards it. I think it goes in C tier probably along this. The problem is every time I look, I'm like, actually, Amora is kind of like better than I initially gave it credit for. I'm actually just moving this up because this keeps throwing me off. I keep like putting it, but I'm just like, but Amora looks good. So does Inkay as well. I think that's fine, but I do think the more that I look at Amora, I'm just like, it doesn't belong in this little thing. I like it more than these other like low stage Pokemon here. Noivern. This is tough. This is tough. This is absolutely tough. I kind of want to put it at the bottom of S tier. I think it's right there. Yeah. I like Noivern more than Aurorus, and I've already been considering moving Aurorus to S tier. So yeah. That's the line. Noivern bottom of S, Aurorus top of A. Absolutely. Then we have Xerneas and Yveltal, and honestly, I kind of feel similarly about both of them. Let's put... I think Yveltal looks slightly cooler. Xerneas is the one I have more experience with because I played X. So... I think we'll go... top of B tier for both of them? Actually... what looks better? What looks better to me? That look right? Does that look right? Probably. I mean, Yveltal's really cool with like the red and black, dark flying, but without any sort of memories of any, like I never use it. I don't really even know that much about what it does. Design is very cool. I think they either both have to stay at the top of B or they both move to the bottom of A. But I think I'll just keep them there. Then we have Zygarde. This form of Zygarde is absolutely, like, probably C tier. Honestly, if I'm just going with, like, basic Zygarde form, even though it's not pictured here, I might also put that in C tier. I don't know. I feel like Zygarde's never done anything for me. Yeah, like, it's fine, but I don't think it's as good as Xerneas or Yveltal. So that form of Zygarde would actually maybe even be the top of D tier or the bottom of C tier. But if I'm looking at like the base form Zygarde that you actually find like in the game in X and Y that I had experienced, and I think that's top of C tier. Diancie is cool. Actually, I think Diancie probably goes like B tier, above like Heliolisk. I like Diancie. You know, it has like the diamonds. It actually has a little bit more personality than something like Carbink. Which is similar, but not quite the same. I don't know. I like Diancie. Nothing too complicated about that. Hoopa. There's Hoopa and there's Hoopa Unbound. I feel probably similarly about both of them. I definitely like it more than Zygarde. I remember starting to watch the Hoopa movie, but I don't think I made it that far. I think I like fell asleep or something. Or we started watching something else. I don't remember what happened there. So that would be my only time of having any sort of experience with it. I think it just has to go to the top of C tier. I don't think I have enough to justify saying that I actively like it. But it's fine. I do actively like Volcanion though. Volcanion's probably going somewhere in B tier though. I don't think it's like incredible, but I do like it. Probably in this range here. I probably like it more than Avalugg. Probably like it more than Gourgeist. Probably here. I think that's a good spot. Okay, and that's wow. All right, so that ended up taking a little bit longer than I expected, but I think this is solid. And actually, now that I see it out, I was sort of underselling Gen 6, but when you really look at it, I mean, only 3 Pokemon in D tier. That's really good. That's really, really good. That might be the least amount that I put in D tier so far in the series. I'm trying to think. I'd have to look back, but it's definitely up there as one of the least. Decent amount of C, decent amount of B, but I think the amount of Pokemon in A tier is really encouraging, as well as the 6 Pokemon in S tier. I'll see if there's other generations. There's definitely gonna be other generations that top 6 Pokemon in S tier, but I don't think there's gonna be that many of them. Yeah, I think I undersold Gen 6 a little bit. I think it's actually a really, really good generation with a lot of good Pokemon, and a lot of stuff that just kind of worked for me. So yeah, I think I feel good about this. This is my opinions of all the Pokemon in Generation 6. Like I said, I might do a Mega Evolution tier list at some point. Maybe I'll do that right after this one. Maybe I'll save it for a special one. I don't really know. I don't have any other special tier lists that I can think of that I would do. So I think if I'm going to do it, it would just be the next thing I do. Y'all let me know if that's something you want at all, or if there's other ideas that you want me to do. Because if there's more than just that, then I can save it till after I do each generation. Otherwise, I'll just do it now, and then, you know, move on to past generations from there. So I'll either do the Mega Evolution one next, or Generation 5 is going to be next. I'm very much looking forward to that. Pokemon Black and White are my favorite games of all time. Okay, well, Heart Gold Soul Silver exists, but in terms of just like best like first game of like a new generation, whatever, like Black and White is absolutely the absolute best. And a lot of it does have to do with the Pokemon of those games. So I can't wait to talk about them. But we'll see whenever we get around to that. You know, these videos get fit around my other content. So they'll happen when they happen. But hopefully you're enjoying this little series and look forward to the next one that I do. If so, let me know. Let me know some of your opinions of my opinions, all that sort of stuff. And I will see y'all on the next time. So till then, peace out.